Good evening, everybody. It's time for the final part of the Maverick build. We finally got here. Sorry it's taken a little while, but yes, we have had lots of things going on between us. However, it is all sorted now, and it's time to finish off the build. So, in the usual fashion, I would like to say, oh, by the way, before I carry on, you will see we're having a bit of an outside broadcast. And if I turn to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Mitchin, I think he's doing the same. Isn't that right, Josh?
Yeah, sure. For the last one, it's going to be an outside job. It's been a bit warm today, so I'm appreciating the fresh air for this last one.
Yes, we are in a way seeking shelter outside, although for most of the day, I would say at my end, it has been warmer outside than in.
Well, the good news is today we don't need any electricity, so we can do it outside.
Yes, that is very true. Well, apart from, yes, well, we'll get onto that. And good evening, Chris. How's it going?
Good evening. It's not going bad. Not going bad, thank you. I'm letting the side down because I'm inside, but I have the door open.
You are inside, but you're letting some of the outside in.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. That's good to hear.
One of the few times that we can.
Good. Good. So, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Let's just, I tell you what we do. I need to send some links to people. So, Josh, can you give us a brief rundown of this evening's agenda whilst I do what I need to do? Josh? Josh? It's all right.
Sorry about that.
Got a little bit carried away drinking beer there. Yeah, right. Can you just give us a rundown of what we're going to do?
Yeah. So tonight we're gonna assemble the kite. We should at this point all have our sails. Tonight we're gonna need our frames. So you're gonna need either 5 or 3 P200s. That's going to depend on the model you're going to build. We're going to get to that in a second. And you're either going to need, depending on whether you've got 5 P200s, you're going to need 2 5PTs, or if you're going to use 3 P200s, you're going to need 4 5PTs. We're going to need our bridle, which we did a few weeks ago, and our kite fittings, so we can assemble this kite. You're also going to need either some super glue, or I'm using insignia tape, and you'll see why as we go along, and a Sharpie, or another form of permanent marker, and a pen and paper is going to be good tonight because we're going to give you some measurements. You're going to need a ruler or a tape measure, but you'll see it all as we go through. So yeah, it's going to be a fun build tonight, and you're going to get a final kite by the end of this.
Awesome. I'd just like to say apologies to everyone. Again, it seems we've got YouTube meltdown for some reason or other. We did think we'd fix the issue, but for whatever reason it's deciding it doesn't want to play the game. So we are limited to Facebook tonight, but we will, in the same way we did the last episode, we will upload the Facebook video onto YouTube, so you've got it there forever more. So, well, I think we're ready. Let's just see. Oh, Peter's here already. Good evening, Peter. I hope you're well. Also, anyone that's watching, if you can share the link, it's greatly appreciated to get it out there. So, Josh, go for it.
Fantastic. So first of all, what we're going to do, I'm going to give you guys the measurements of the rods that we're going to need to cut. So you guys can, if you're watching this after, you can pause at this point, go cut your rods, come back. Anything after this, you'll have everything ready. So if you guys want to grab a pen and paper or whatever you want to do to take these measurements down. So our spine is going to be a P200, and that's just going to be a full length rod. So that's 82.5 centimeters. So you don't need to cut that down. The upper section of the leading edge, so those are also P200s. They're going to be 70 centimeters long. You're going to need 2 of those. The lower section of the leading edge, that's P200 or 5PT, also 70 centimeters. Again, 2 of those. Your upper spreader, so that's going to be 5mm carbon. That's going to be 50 centimeters long. And our standoffs are going to be 24.8 centimeters cut rod. That's 3mm. So as I said before, depending on which model you want to do. So if you want this kite to have a little bit more precision than trickability and be a little bit stronger, you're going to want to use solid P200 all the way down. If you want to have a sort of a greater capacity of tricks in this kite, you can use 5PT in the lower section of the leading edge. That's going to give you just a little bit more flex, and you're going to be able to do a few more things. It's going to be a bit more of a spicy kite, I suppose is the way I can put this. I've gone for the spicy variety. Matt, are you going for the?
I definitely think I will be spicy.
Spicy. Chris, what are you going to go for? Are you going to be spicy?
I have a spicy kite.
A spicy kite. Well, there you go. So we're all doing spicy kites, which is brilliant.
We are just spicy individuals, aren't we?
Oh yes, we are. So the first thing we're going to do, if you guys now want to pause this video, if you're watching it after, go away, cut your rods, come back. So we'll just give you a couple of seconds, pause, and we're back.
Right. Seamless, absolutely seamless.
Oh yes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do our spines, and what we're going to do, we need here is a T fitting, which is this fitting here, or the R-Sky T fitting. So
yeah, Chris has got his.
As I said before, this is a full length rod. And what we're going to do from the base of so this is the bottom of the spine. You're going to get your measuring tape, and you're going to make a mark at precisely, and I should have a measurement of this, and it should in fact be 24.5 centimeters. So we're going to make our mark at 24.5. As you can see here, give me half a second. So I've made my mark. Now, the short end of what's remaining, so this is going to be the part that's the bottom of the kite. So you can use, for stoppers, you can cut an end cap in half and glue that on if you prefer. Because I find that things often break, I actually use insignia tape and wrap it really tight, and it's enough of a hold to hold the fittings in place. So what we're going to do at the side, which is shortest on the spine, we're going to apply that insignia tape or a cap just at that marker. So that should look something like that. You see it's flush with this marker. We're going to push the T-piece to the marker, and then again on the other side you're going to lock that T-piece in place. So again, more insignia tape, and this is going on this side to lock that T-piece. Okay.
Nice
and simple. That's not going to move.
Yep.
Okay, and then on the other side, so you have your effectively your long end. You're going to want to put a end cap on the top. If you guys have bought a kit, these are included. All these components are included. So then what we're going to do, I'm going to get our sails, and we're going to slide in through this section here, which we put on last time, so that the short end going away from the kite towards that bottom, and then we're going to get our nose. Is this clear enough? Can you guys see that?
Yep, you can see that. Yep.
We're going to push our end cap all the way up into the top of the nose so it doesn't move any further. We're going to align, and this should perfectly align our T-piece with the hole. Now, what I've got is just another end cap that you can put on, and then you're just going to seal it off like this. Okay. If you guys are using weight systems at all, so I'm just going to show you how. So you can see that there's a raw edge of a rod there. There would normally be the cap to stop that. I've got this weight system, which is a T-bar. Insert your T-bar. And again,
and how much weight are you putting on that, Josh?
15 grams.
15 grams, okay.
And then that should sit quite nicely in there. So that is our spine done. And there should be a little bit of a pucker because that should be really quite tight, almost curving. So that's that section. The next section we're going to do is we're going to take our stand off. So once we've cut our rods, you're going to glue an end cap onto the end of here. So I'm just dropping a little bit of super glue, pushing that cap on. That's going to lock in place. I'm using fiberglass. If you guys want to use carbon, the kits are provided with carbon, but a fiberglass also works. I'll be honest, I'm away from home at the minute, and the kit, I forgot the component I needed to do standoffs. But yeah, so
what's the reasoning between fiberglass versus carbon fiber, and what different properties do you get depending on what you use?
So if you use carbon fiber has very little bend in it, and that's going to get your kite be really stiff. That can have a lot of good things. So for tricks, you want a stiff kite. It's going to hold against the sail. It's going to keep that kite in its shape. You're going to be able to flick it all around. If you use fiberglass, you're going to get a bit more of a bendy motion. It's going to allow your spreaders to flex, and then that's going to encourage precision in the kite. Like I say, I prefer using fiberglass in all my kites. So I find that it gives you a bit more of a blend with precision kites and this crossover into this trick area. But yeah, so we've glued that cap on. We're going to drop a little bit of super glue onto here, and then using our standoff connector, push that in, and that's your standoff. You need 2 of these. So, and it should be 25 centimeters long once it's complete. Then, if you go back to our sails on the last,
so that's 25, including the tip on one end.
So this tiny section here, which pierces through the sail, don't include that in the 25.
Right.
It's
okay.
From this hard edge here
to
the end of the end cap.
Okay. Yeah.
And then all we're doing is we're going to our holes that we put in our mylar or dacron area, and just pushing that through on the front of the sail. And it should stay in like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's on the front of the sail. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that on the other side. And there, we've now got both standoff connectors. So the next section that we're going to do is our leading edges. Like I said previously, our leading edges are cut to 70 centimeters long. That's not including any ferrules at this point. So our upper section of the leading edge, we're going to include our ferrules in this. So we've got our 10 centimeter ferrules. You're going to make a mark at 5 centimeters, and then we're going to push our ferrules in with a bit of glue. So just applying our glue in the entire this edge of the ferrule, push it to halfway, and we're just going to let that glue set for a while. It's flush on the edge there. Okay. And then while that glue's setting, we're going to make our next mark. So this is the next mark for where our upper leading edge connector is going to sit. So I'm just going to check my notes here. We will also release a PDF diagram of all these numbers and where they need to be. So the next mark we need to make is at 34 centimeters. So bear with me just a second.
And I apologise if you can hear jet noise in the background. I live below the Luton flight path, so I don't know if there are people coming back or going on holiday finally. I don't know.
So this is my mark here. So this next this insignia tape is going between the mark and the ferrule. So this edge, and again it's going flush with that line. You see that?
Yep.
Okay. And then what we're going to do, we're going to push our upper leading edge connector onto the end without the ferrule. Just like this.
Oh, Alan's joined us as well. Alan says hi.
Hello, Alan.
Yes, and Alan actually posted, Alan and Peter posted their up to this point kites earlier on in the week to show us. I think they were quite looking forward to the last part. So yeah, no doubt we should see some flying videos from them soon, I should think.
Okay, so we've put the connector on. I've just applied a little bit of super glue to the end. We're going to take our end caps, again included in the kit, and place those on there. And just give that a couple of seconds to dry. At the same time as this one's drying, we need to make another one. So if you go away, do that. I already prepared my other one before. Very Blue Peter of me. But yeah, and then we got to do the lower section of the leading edge. So again, for this same length rod, this is either going to be a 5 PT or a P200. And our mark this time, again, make a note of this if you will, is going at 23 centimeters. Also, just to bear in mind, if you are using 5 PT for the lower section of the leading edge, it needs to go to the wider edge because those rods are tapered. So it's 23 centimeters in from that wide edge, so the thicker diameter.
Mark has also joined us, so good evening, Mark, or whatever the appropriate time is for where you are.
Okay, so we're applying this insignia tape or this cap to the longer section, so on the inside of the longest section. Okay. So that is applied there. And then we're taking our lower leading edge connector and applying it to on the shortest end. Just push that on there. These are going to be quite tight. That's a good thing. You want it tight because then they won't move when it's on the kite. So you can see that is on there. We're in the company of a cat now. And that is the two sections of our leading edge assembled. So that glue should have set now, and you can place that in like that. And that's the leading edge. So we're going to have two of these, two full sections of the leading edge. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the upper leading edge into the kite. So the way I'm doing that, from the ferruled edge, we're going down in from the nose, down the kite first, so that at our section you can see you have your nose here, and the frame is just poking out the top of the open section of this leading edge. I'm going to push that in slightly, and then this is where you're going to lose your thumbs. If somebody can create an invention for this on how to get a leading edge connector down the rod without costing me my fingernails, I would be very, very appreciative, as I'm sure millions of kite flyers across the world would. But all we're doing is working that fitting down, and as we work the fitting down, we're going to move the leading edge up until we reach that the stop out or the insignia tape that we just applied.
Josh, have you ever tried using something like a spray deodorant? Not for yourself.
Where are you going with that?
No, I in my much younger days used to do a lot of mountain biking, and whenever we changed grips, handlebars, the thing to do would be to basically spray on like a can of Lynx or something like that onto the bars, put your grip over the top, and then very quickly the deodorant would evaporate, and then making it so that the grip would stay in place, and yeah, it was easy to get on. I don't know. The only thing is you're obviously in quite close proximity to Icarex. I don't know if there would be some effect or.
I can honestly say I haven't tried that, but I might do some experimenting with that and let you guys know. You can
and
see
I'm
now,
sure also, sorry to interrupt, but I know Alan is watching. I'm sure he might even, I think he suggested Fairy Liquid for something else before, but that's another, if you get soapy water, that's another good lubricant that doesn't stay lubed.
Okay. Happy for me to continue?
You can proceed.
Okay, so you can see that leading edge connector is now up against that fitting, and I can see Matt giggling in the background. and that rod is all the way into the nose. So next, we're going to do our lower sections of the leading edge. And much like before, so we're starting with the rod facing the nose. We're going to go down the tunnel of the leading edge. And again, like before, just through there, and we're going to work the fitting down to the stepper. So everybody go out and buy millions of cans of links.
So, first of all, Spencer would like to know. In fact, Spencer, sorry, I didn't put the Zoom link in. Right, I'm going to put the Zoom link in because, yeah, everyone will join us, won't they? Hold on. Also, by the way, Alan did mention washing up liquid.
Did he know?
Yeah, carry on.
Sorry. Just
Okay, you're just nodding up, are you?
That is now at the point. So now effectively our leading edge is in. We're going to align the ferrule, and we have now a full leading edge.
Fantastic.
Now what you're going to do, I'm going to take our bungee like this. It's a 10 centimeter bungee. Tie it through, overhand knot, the tiniest amount, shortest amount of excess you can. We're going to take our arrow knock, and with the knot on the back of the kite, we're going to work it over, and you get a nice, clean finish, just like this.
Well,
okay.
Look who's joined us. I'm sorry to just have a quick pause, but let's say good evening to Watty. Watty, I'm very sorry that it's so late for me to send the Zoom link in, but welcome anyway. You were asking about the length of the lower spreader, were you not?
Yeah, I got the measurements for all the other bits, but I didn't catch you mentioning the length of the lower spreader.
73 centimeters.
Ah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I've just completed putting leading edges and spine in. So now we're going to move on to our upper spreader and lower spreader. Then we're going to bridle the kite, and then we're done.
Fantastic. Well, we've got none other than Mr. Alan Poxon has joined us. Well, good evening, Alan. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing okay, thank you.
Yes.
Still hobbling around.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, yes, that I take it the leg is getting better slowly but surely.
Yeah, I have still got one of these on the leg, so I'm trying to do physio.
Good. But you managed to catch up with your kites, though.
Yes, I've been busy. I've made 2 sales, not 1.
Yeah, I saw, and they look very good. They look very, very good. Sorry, right, Josh. Sorry, we've interrupted. Right, you can carry on now. Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
We've kept everyone waiting for so long. It's just nice to have a catch up, isn't it?
Of course.
Yes. Carry on.
So, we've got our 15 centimeter ferrules. So we're going to push our 15 centimeter ferrules into our 5 PTs, which are cut to 73 centimeters. We're going to push them in and glue them at 7 centimeters inside. So you should have 8 centimeters remaining. And the reason behind that is the T pieces, they take up a centimeter. So you want it equal on both sides of the kite. And then we're going to take our standoff connectors and we're going to push them to 27 centimeters away from the end of the Sky Shark rod, not the ferrule.
Carry on. Was that your floor manager? Just
it was, yes.
Yeah. I thought so.
You're doing a very good job of bringing me coffee.
Oh, there we go. Lovely.
Yeah, so 27 centimeters away from the center of the rod. And when I find the other one, which is here, we're going to do that on both.
So hold on. So we're going from the end of the rod. You said from the center, but 27 from the end of the rod.
Yes, from the wider diameter.
Yeah.
Again, these will be tapered rods.
So the fat end of the rod, 27 or 27.5?
27.
27. Okay. Perfect.
Okay. And then we're going to cut our 5mm at 50 centimeters long. Nice, easy number there. And that's it. That's the rods. So then,
Fantastic.
what you can do from there, we can assemble our kites.
So just to recap, the 15 centimeter ferrule is going into one of the five,
Just one, yes.
one 5 PT in it, inside 7, outside 8. Glue it like that, leaving 8 centimeters of the ferrule exposed, so that when you put it through the centerpiece and connect the other spreader, it will all be matched and equal.
Yeah, and then you assemble the kite, lower spreaders in, you get something that looks like this.
Oh, what a masterpiece. Look at that.
So now we're just going to stick the bridle on, and we'll have complete kites.
Fantastic. Well, let's have a look. How do we go about it then, Josh?
So we should all have our bridles from the previous weeks. Sorry.
Stefan has joined us. Good evening, Stefan. He can't see me, but I'm waving. Carry on.
So we're going to fold our bridle directly in half. It should be in one piece at this point. Okay. Then at this loop section where the whole fold is, we're going to do our lark's head. And then we're going to pass this lark's head through, and I'll just rotate the camera here. Loosen our spine off. We're going to pass it under the spine, below the T-piece. We're going to pass, so we've got our lark's head, remember? We've just done this. We're going to pass the rest of the bridle through that lark's head, grabbing these 2 knots to make sure it's still equal. Give it a good pull so it's nice and tight. And then we're going to take the rest of the bridle. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong side of the kite. And we're going to pass it through. Sorry, just tighten your spine up again. And then we're going to pass the rest of the bridle through the hole where the T-piece is, below the spreaders. And I'll show you guys.
Okay, so the bridle's coming out below the spreaders.
Yes. And I'll show you guys what that should look like from the other side. So when it comes through, you've got the T-piece here, and the bridle comes below the spreaders. Is that clear enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we're going to separate the halves of our bridle. So just allowing one to dangle and the other not to. And then we're going to disregard the section of the bridle with a knot at the end, because that's our toe point. And we're just dealing with the 2 remaining lines. Now we're going to take our shortest length first. So if you check that by grabbing the 2, you can see that one is shorter than the other. We're taking our shortest line first. That's going to be our uphole section of the bridle. And then we're attaching this to the bridle. I'm just going to take this spreader out for you. So we're going behind the spar first, above the leading edge connector. We're going behind the back of the bridle. We're going to go and just do an overhand knot. So you see that you've got your loop here. So you've got your loop. It's connected over the bridle. We're going through that loop, pulling it tight, and that becomes a slip knot, and that attaches your bridle. Is that clear?
Yep.
I'll go through that again.
Yep. And what I would also recommend people to do is there are so many knot tying videos on YouTube. that it's worth looking them up. Now, I know those knots as pen loop knots because you can actually form them with a pen, take the pen out, and then you've got just a loop ready to fit over something. But how do you know them? Just a basic slip knot.
Also a pen loop.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'll go through it again though.
Yeah.
So below the leading edge connector for the lower spreader, we're going behind the back of the spar, behind the bridle line, over the top, and through. So effectively, you should see it there. This is our bridle line that we're going around. This is our loop we've just created. Pull that loop tight, makes a slip knot to the fitting. Bob's your uncle. Okay?
Yep. Yeah. Now the thing is, I'm not the right person to ask because I have used those knots quite a bit. But it's probably better to ask, for example, Chris. Chris, did you get that? Did you understand what was going on with that one? Not
On the bridle.
yeah. The pen loops. Yeah. The pen loop knots. Okay. Also, Alan, do you know them as you're very, very knowledgeable? What would you have you got a different name for that knot?
I was trying my hardest to think of it while you were describing it, Matt. I like the idea of a pen loop. I know it basically as a sort of a slip knot.
Right. Okay.
And the other thing that I tend to recount is the fact that when you melt the end of the cord, make sure you've got a little pip on the end.
Yeah.
And then when you tie the knot right up to the end, that pip will stop it slipping out.
Yeah, exactly that. So, if you remember in the bridal part of the series, I'm not sure, I can't remember how much of a deal we made about it, but the key point is, I know we did cover it, but when you're making the ends of your knots, make sure that they, like Alan says, they have got a good pip, as he says, on the end of them. I like that word, Alan, pip. Right, Josh. Oh, well, okay. So I flicked away for 2 seconds and you went and finished it. How about that?
Yep, that is our finished kite.
Wow. Now, I believe you have been out and flown already.
I have been out and flown. Right, let's see if in its crudest way possible.
Are we? Are you? Now you might be able to share your screen. If you joined your phone in to the Zoom, we could do a screen share of that video, if it is a video.
I have to admit, the video was done in a mad rush before but let's see if I don't know if this is going to be very clear at all. It's a horrible footage, but they do all.
Yeah, we can see. That was enough. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Look like it was fine to me. But to be honest, Josh, you flying a kite, especially a dual line kite, doesn't really give the kite any credentials whatsoever, because I do strongly believe you could fly a brick on the end of a piece of string. So that could be the crappiest kite like of all time, as far as I know. Apart from the fact, obviously, you've designed it. Okay, don't take that out of context. All I mean is, based on that video alone, we have no idea whether that kite is any good or not. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I am told also there was another way of testing. You said is something like its return rate. Did you say?
Yeah, that's more about the design, and we'll not go into.
Oh, that's trade secrets that I'm revealing, is it? Okay, all right. Well, I won't reveal the trade secrets.
But I hope everybody's enjoyed building it, and I hope all the kites come out as well as you want them to. And let us know what more you want. If there's a kite that you guys want to build or want to see how to build, ask us, and we will try and put something together for it. But yeah, it's been great seeing everybody's progress along this build. Yeah,
it's been really good. It's been really good. Josh, I really do want to say a personal massive thank. In fact, come on, right, everybody brace yourselves, because we're going to gallery view earlier than normal so that everyone can see all of us at home simultaneously. Josh, I want to say a massive thank you for all the effort that you've put in on the last 2 builds, the Mini Pulse and the Maverick, and I cannot wait to get out and fly my Maverick. I'm sorry that I have not been building along, everybody. However, that is about to change. Now, I am going to make a little announcement here that, unfortunately, due to lots of time constraints and just being a very busy boy, Josh is stepping away from us, hopefully briefly, for the next build. However, there will be a next build, but it's going to be left to myself and my esteemed colleague, Mr. Chris Purcell, to guide you through. The only saving grace is that I have already built 3 of them, so it should be okay. Now, should be. I am very pleased to announce that I have been speaking to Mr. Thomas Horvath himself, and he has granted us permission to do a build along of the Urban Ninja for the next build. Now, we will be going through it. There will be lots of build up. We will make sure that everyone knows. And the convenient thing is that a lot of the planning has been already done for us. So we will be directing you to the right places. We'll be showing you how to get your hands on the right rods and fittings and so on and so forth. And we will attempt to guide you through. But it will be, if you're novices, it may be a case of blind leading the blind, but it's fine. It's no problem. So there is going to be a summer holiday for the next couple of weeks because quite frankly, with everything else going on, it's a very busy time. Also, I'm actually going to take a holiday for the first time this year, which will be nice. However, that does count me out for 2 weekends. So we will be back at the beginning of September. And yeah, we will give you all the relevant information in the run up. And we really hope that as many of you as possibly can, as including the regular faces, if you have got the time, will come and join us. And Alan, you know, we might need you, quite frankly. I'm hoping that Josh will have time to maybe even pop his head in the door at some points, but certainly we want to take the pressure off his shoulders for the time being, because he has, quite frankly, he's done it all.
Fantastic job.
With the exception of the website, which I have to say, it's Chris has done all of the website, so basically I've done nothing. But I did have the idea, so I guess that counts, right?
You acted as a fantastic figurehead there, Matt.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. When I say the idea for On the Line, really Josh had the idea for the build, so I can't take credit for that either. However, I really appreciate everyone that's taken the time to join in. I definitely appreciate Watty and Alan. You've been great experts to chime in and build along with us. Massive thanks to Chris, who basically does all of the background work and is phenomenal. And of course, thanks to myself, Josh, for doing everything that he's done, including designing some really awesome kites. I can't say enough good things about that bloke. So I think, unless there are questions, you've got a thanks, Josh, from Peter in the Peanut Gallery.
Not a problem at all. And I dare say, after your ninja build, and depending on my time wise, I will be back with something for us all to build, which
Well,
should be fun.
you'll probably be sitting at home pulling your hair out, thinking he's making a right cock up of that.
Well, let me say this: I will pop in at some point.
Yeah, good. Okay, I'm glad to hear it. Okay, well, listen, we're off. I don't think there's anything more to cover, but what we do want to know is we want to see videos and pictures of your finished kites, please, because that's what really makes it worthwhile. Josh, look, there we go. That we've already got one. We've already got one. Josh, we can still see you, FYI. just.
Well, everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Oh,
You are on gallery. But there we go. That's part of the fun. So everyone's seeing what happens when it's just you on screen. Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you after the summer break. Yeah. Good luck. Have fun, and send us pictures and videos of your kites. Ta-ta for now. Come on, everybody. Let's have a bit of waving. See you later. Bye-bye.